How does a little group that has no government funding other than gaming grants survive?
Sandra, we may not know what gaming means.
Do you know what gaming means?
Gambling.
Yeah, gambling funds.
I do, from Nevada. Sorry.
How they survive.
That's how we survive.
In Canada, back when we first started this, bingos were part of the Catholic Church. And funding,
That's not gambling.
of course it's not gambling. And it's been a long haul, let me tell you, and I won't go into the politics of it, but it was under federal control, where licensed gambling, like casinos and stuff, was under provincial control. Okay, so the money from, in fact, gaming for our bingo, which Aim High had this bingo, gave us a portion of their bingo things because they never had enough volunteers to show us. So I used to literally have to go and volunteer at the bingo hall to get our funds when we first started. And our province passed a law back in the 80s or early 90s to legalize gambling in BC because there was no gambling in that same sense. It was very controlled, the bit of gambling that they did have. And they legalized gambling, which they did here in the States too. But a portion had to go to charity. That's one of the reasons I incorporated us as a nonprofit society and a registered charity as well, so that we could have independent funds. Because ministries, you guys go through this, the Ministry of Social Services split with the Ministry of Health, the people that had mental illnesses, we couldn't connect. Had to drop the people that had brain injuries because they went under the Ministry of Health, and if we were going to give you some of our bingo funds, they can't have brain injuries. So it was like, well, this is just craziness. So in 1993, I incorporated as a charity and applied for our own bingo. So then we had bingo funds, and I could connect to anybody. I didn't have a restriction on who we were allowed to connect and not allowed to connect, because this is, and I can't explain this enough. This was a group of citizens over here that were reaching out and welcoming people with disabilities into the community, okay? So we don't have any money or government funds, or it wasn't a service, you know, but we wouldn't be able to continue to do this. And if you ask Bob Harkins why he was doing this, it's that gift of giving. It's so important. It made him feel so awesome. He enjoyed it so much. You get such a kick, and you ask the guys from the hockey thing who would go with Lloyd and watch him light up like a Christmas tree and just love every second of it. That's enriching. That just makes you feel so good. And they become advocates. Boy, you don't mess with Lloyd. You get that group of bikers that knew Lloyd, told him he could stay. You know, if push come to shove, all those guys would have pulled together to make sure Lloyd was protected. You know, those are some of the important things. Other things, fishing derbies, fundraising dinners. You probably have all kinds of fundraising things that you guys do within your own agencies besides government funding. Well, we probably do them all as well. Give back events, penny drives, you name it, we have all kinds of stuff. Very rarely do I get a grant like the social service grant, but when I looked at it, it was to hire somebody with a disability. I thought, hey, I will try that. Local, like when we published the Prince George Connector and stuff, I could get grants through the local city, our municipality, as they have social grants. Foundations, Prince George Community Foundation, True Sport, we just got a grant through. You know, the only problem with those, when we had originally our bingo, we had to raise 10% secondary source funding. And for any of you that understand funding and that whole aspect, means that as a group, we need to go out and raise, if we got, say, $100,000, we have to go and raise $10,000 in the community. Well, they cut us back all of us back, because what they did is, when they amalgamated and it all came under the BC government, and their wisdom said, you gotta raise 50% in the community and we'll give you 50%. And from our records, you raise this much, so you're only gonna get that much, based on the 10%. But we only had to raise 10%. So we struggled. We went through quite a struggle, I tell you. And we weathered the storm. We're still weathering the storm, and that's when it started our fishing derby and all kinds of things. So, I don't know what else I can offer you with respect to fundraising, except for the fact that if the opportunity comes, because we certainly can't charge people that have developmental disabilities for doing what we do, because that isn't what we do. That is so contrary to what we do. But if you do have pockets of funds, like Aim High, our community living association that initiated Project Friendship, they had a little pocket of, in this case, bingo money or gaming money that they moved towards us, that have kept us afloat, because we still, though we apply separately, it started there. It has kept us going all these years. And then we've built again on that to increase our, now they just told us we only need 25%. And it's like, oh, I can kiss their feet. So I'm leaving, and the person after me does not have to work quite so hard, because it's a huge ship to juggle. So, questions?